next up, let's brush your teeth. Brush your teeth. Addison, get down. A newborn has a pediatrician appointment for 10. Is there anything in the afternoon? 5 o'clock would be great. Do you need me to have her record sent over from her old vet? Okay. Alright, do you need me to bring a sample or anything? Alright, 5 o'clock will work. Alright, yeah, now we gotta brush your teeth again. Alright, now we gotta do your hair. Don't fall. Daisy, good girl. Good girl. Hello, welcome to another video. I'm not wearing makeup. I'm a little bit beat, but you guys just saw a little bit of our chaotic morning routine. Zach gets up with Addie. He gets her, he changes her diaper. He sometimes will just like leave her in her pajamas though, because she has been waking up like super hungry. I think breakfast is her favorite meal of the day, which it's also my favorite meal, so we have that in common. And then he brings her downstairs, he feeds her breakfast. While she's eating breakfast, he usually like does some kind of like pick up or clean or dishes, whatever's left over from the night before. I eventually come down and take over from there. So that's what you guys saw this morning. Little bit of a different morning. She's 2 months today. Hannah is 2 months today, which means we have our 2-month well check today, which I will tell you guys all about once we have that. That's at 10:40 and it's 9:30 now, so we have an hour and 10 minutes. And then, as you guys saw, I had to call the vet. We have not taken her to a vet in our new area since we moved here in 2023. We've been driving to my hometown where my mom lives to take her to that vet because it's trusted. But honestly, with 2 kids now, it's just like we can't drive all the way there. And I'm sure that the animal hospital by us is just as good. They're also, I just found out today, they're also an emergency animal hospital and they're like 5 minutes down the road from us. So I'm super happy that we have one of those near us and that it'll also be her regular vet from now on as long as we like them. Daisy has never had any health problems. She's only 5.5. But we noticed on Sunday morning, she was starting to have like a lot of accidents, like poop accidents. And then they went from like normal poops to very soft. I've been describing it as soft serve. I don't want to like gross anyone out, but just this morning we noticed a little droplet of blood in one of the poops. So we were already going to call the vet today because it's been 48 hours, but that was definitely like, okay, we really need to call the vet. But she's acting completely herself, which I'm grateful for. And she's eating and drinking. Like we aren't giving her kibble right now, but we've been giving her plain white rice and she's eating it. She's eating that, she's drinking water, she's acting herself. And she's not vomiting. So I don't know what is going on. She's not the type of dog to like eat random objects. Like she doesn't eat like socks or anything like that. Like she never has. Even as a puppy, she was really good with like not chewing. So I don't think she ate anything random unless it was like an accident. Like unless something like fell in her food and she ate it, or it was, I don't know. Or she mistook it for something. I don't know. Side note, these little people sets have been game changer for her imagination. Like she got these for Christmas and we have just like, as soon as she got them, we've seen a change in her imagination. All it took was like a couple of times of us playing with her and pretending with the little people sets, and now she does it all herself. And like it's so amazing watching her imagination like blossom and flourish. So shout out to the little people toy sets. She loves them. This one is stirring. I think she's annoyed with me talking. So we're going to play in the playroom for a little bit. And then we're going to go on a family walk. And then the other part of our morning routine, after I get everyone ready, is we go on a family walk. Zach is taking a quick shower right now. And then after he's ready, we'll go. But we usually go on as long as the weather is not like brutally hot or like extremely cold, we go on at least 2 walks a day around the neighborhood with the dog. Just to get fresh air, and it's gonna be like 70 something degrees today, which is why I'm wearing a tank top, but I am planning on wearing a jean jacket over it for when I'm like out in public. But yeah, it's gonna be so beautiful out. So I'm hoping we'll be able to play outside today. I'm hoping that we'll be able to get on like a few nice walks. Also, side note, I said it to Zach this morning, but my epidural site hurts. That didn't happen the first time around, but like my epidural is hurting. I don't know if it's because it's the second time I've had an epidural or what, but I don't remember it hurting like this. Okay, well, I'm definitely rambling now. I will be back when we get on our walk. Yeah. I definitely need to keep going with the functional strength training because I do 1,000,000 squats and lunges a day in the form of picking children up.
Hello.
Hi guys.
Walk it for me.
We're on a family walk.
We're on a family walk.
So true, bestie.
All right.
Oh.
It's come to my attention that I'm having a hard time.
Look.
Come on, let's go.
Come on, everyone.
We'll bend the screen back.
Yeah, that was the wrong way to be going. And do you see Daisy to your left? Daisy walking.
The last person to drive this car was Zach. Headed to the pediatrician. We got Hannah's 2-month appointment. So let's go. Not what we wanted to hear. I will tell you guys about it when I get home. Clearly, there's a lot happening, but I cried as well in that appointment. That's great. Okay. Hello. You might hear some music playing in the background. Addie is eating lunch and listening to music, so I apologize for that. It's a week later. It is the following Tuesday. My clips from this vlog that you're seeing got corrupted the last half of the day, and also me recapping the doctor's appointment. So here I am with the troublemaker herself, and I'm going to try to recap what happened without rambling. So hold on a second. I'm gonna get this girl some snack. So anyway, I go in for her 2-month appointment. They have me put her down to the diaper. They measure her head circumference, and then they do her length, and then it's time for the weight. So something in my gut told me that the weight was not gonna be where it needed to be, and that was based on nothing. Her feeds were exactly the same as they had been previously, and when I did a weighted feed when she was 2 weeks old, in 9 minutes, she was able to transfer 2.8 ounces of milk. So I knew she was getting enough at 2 weeks. Her feeds have not changed all the way from 2 weeks to 2 months as far as duration and how frequent she was eating. So if anything, she should be getting at least what she was able to transfer before, or maybe more now that she's older and like her muscles are stronger and her latch is better and all of that. So sure enough, they weigh her and she was supposed to have gained 24 ounces-ish because they're supposed to give an ounce a day, and it had been 24 days since her last appointment. She had only gained 15 ounces. So she didn't gain 9 ounces. She had gone from about the 20th percentile to the 8th percentile, which is a pretty big jump. And I just knew instantly that was not good. So the nurse leaves, she says the doctor will be right in. Naturally, she's due for a feed, and naturally, the doctor doesn't come in for 15 minutes. So I spent those 15 minutes in the exam room, pacing back and forth, holding back tears, rocking her, trying to calm her down because she's crying because she's hungry. Finally, the doctor comes in. Hi, how are you? Whatever. I start to cry because I'm like, I know her weight's not where it should be. And she's like, oh, sweetie. And she was so sweet. Like, God sent me an angel that day. Like, I've loved every doctor we've seen, but like, she was just exactly what I needed. And we don't see her very often. We just see these 2 other doctors, but like, I was blessed with that doctor that day. She was like, yeah, it's not where it needs to be, but at least she gained weight. At least she didn't lose weight. At least it didn't stay the same. Like, clearly there's an underlying issue here. Let's figure this out. She starts asking me if I pump. I say, no, I don't pump, but like, when I feed her, I'm able to pump at least an ounce after the feed on each side. So I know I have the supply. And she's like, just go home, try to pump, see how much you get, and then feed her that bottle and see how much she takes in. And, I'm like, okay, so she's thinking like it could be my supply or something. Even though this is my 2nd time breastfeeding, I'm fairly sure it's not my supply. But I was going to go with it. Then she asked me if I have any other concerns. So I started to tell her my other concerns that I have for her. She's always been very congested. It had gotten worse in the last week since that appointment. So I told her I've been having to like snot sucker her, do saline drops, and then snot suction her, and how it had woken her up in the middle of the night a few times, and how I'm fairly sure she has silent reflux, and how, I noticed a little bit of a rash on her cheeks and neck, which like can be normal from like moisture of like the milk and like spit up and everything, or can be a sign of her having a reaction to the milk. And then of course, since her poops went from meconium to newborn poop, they had been mucousy and yellowish green, sometimes just green, sometimes yellow, but very mucousy. And I could have sworn I was seeing specks of blood, which is why I brought her in at 1 month to test her diaper to see if there's blood in it, which would tell us if she had a dairy intolerance or a dairy and soy intolerance. My oldest daughter, my almost 2-year-old, had milk soy protein intolerance, so I wasn't able to have milk or soy. How we diagnosed that was she was super colicky, mucus in the poop, greenish yellow poops, and we tested her diapers and they had blood in them. So I had to give up dairy and soy for a year. So I had already been paranoid that that's what she had. Her weight was never a problem, which is why this is all kind of new for me. So anyway, I finished telling her all the symptoms, which I know can be attributed to some kind of intolerance. And she looks at me and she says, that also all sounds like stuff that can be caused by cow's milk protein intolerance, or they call it cow's milk protein allergy, but it's an intolerance. It's not like an allergy, like throat closing type of thing. Anyway, and I say to her, I'm like, well, my oldest had that plus a soy intolerance, so that wouldn't surprise me. And she was like, okay, that changes things. I bet you that's what it is. Did she do it? Like, did she poop while she was here so we can test a diaper? And I was like, yes, she did. I was like, they tested at 1 month and like it all came back negative. And she was like, well, her intestines might not have been inflamed enough to produce blood that we could test for at 1 month. But now they might have, which breaks my heart that now her intestines are bleeding and now we can detect that there's blood. Anyway, so she takes the diaper. So the diaper was in the trash. She takes the diaper out of the trash, tests it, and yep, sure enough, she comes back after like 30 seconds and it's like, it tested positive. That's what this is. I don't want, you don't have to come back in two weeks, come back in a month. We'll do a weight check. We'll test the poop again if you want, and we'll go from there. Because we always run the risk of her also having the soy like she did, or having egg on top of that, or like there's a bunch of different things that can cause this. That's where we're at. She has officially the cow's milk protein intolerance. To be determined on if she has any other kinds of intolerances. At the very least, we know she has that. So the doctor is less concerned about the weight, considering we know it's caused by this intolerance, because she knows that if I cut it out, the weight should go up just fine, because weight issues can be a part of this intolerance. Addie didn't have weight issues. I think there was like a slight drop in her percentile, but like it was never a real concern. Hers was enough where they were like, what's going on here? So yeah, that has been on my mind a lot lately, especially today. I'll go over this in my next vlog, but basically she has been more colicky. She was not colicky before, but now she's starting to become colicky in the last week since I've given dairy up. And I've been dairy-free for a week now. A week ago today, like I'm completely dairy-free. And her demeanor has been worse. Her sleep has been worse. Her diapers are the same, which the doctor said, like, her diapers might never go back to normal, which Addie's never went back to normal. They just didn't have blood in them, but they stayed mucousy until she started solids. That was a lot to take in. Her demeanor was so bad today, I actually contacted the pediatrician. They said that if her demeanor remains bad until the end of the week, or if her feeds decrease, that I should bring her in at the end of the week. But they did say, like, it could take a month for the milk to leave my system and to leave her system, and then I should see improvement around a month, which if she's gaining weight properly, I can deal with her demeanor, because all that matters to me is that she's gaining weight properly. Okay, I have a fussy toddler, but that is that for this video. That is your recap of the appointment. That is the end of this video. Oh my gosh, I almost forgot to include, Daisy was also pooping blood. She's okay now. It's been a week. I did have to take her to the vet that same day, and like you guys saw, I made the appointment, and the vet was like, everything came back normal for her poop, everything came back normal for her blood panel, which paid $500 for that vet visit. And basically the doctor was like, give her some probiotics that you can literally buy on Amazon and you should see improvement. And sure enough, after a few days, her poops went back to normal. And we're still giving her the probiotic. Her guess is that Daisy must have accidentally picked something up outside. My best guess is maybe she stepped on some pesticides or something outside and licked her paws after. I don't know. We don't really know for sure. This is the most at peace she has been all day. I honestly was losing my mind earlier with her screaming. So I'm really happy that she's relaxed. But yeah, it's been a tough day. It's been a tough week. I'm hoping I see improvement with her. I'm hoping that her weight is okay. It's been really overwhelming, and I tried catching this early at 1 month, but it was not bad enough to catch it. So I am frustrated with that. Send up prayers and good vibes for us because it's been really difficult, honestly, and very overwhelming with everything else going on. And of course, my mind always goes to, and what am I gonna do when I go back to work if she's still like this? But we can cross that bridge. I keep trying to tell myself, all we can do is cross that bridge when we get there. That is it for this video, and come back for the next one, which is our Easter vlog, which is also another short vlog, but it is what it is with that. I'll see you guys in the next one.